How's it going, everyone? I'm future meteorologist Stephen Foray, and welcome back to another weather news with 4A. And March literally went out with a bang here on Long Island. You might expect those stronger severe storms to stay south of us, but don't get too comfortable because especially in the spring season, there is a chance that they will come our way, similar to what we saw on Monday. A cold front bringing showers and thunderstorms to the area. We had up to a 2 for parts on the island for severe weather, bringing hail, damaging winds, localized flooding, and even the very, very slight possibility for a tornado, which luckily we did not see here on the island. But you still need to be very careful as some of these thunderstorms, especially in spring, can turn severe. You know the saying, April showers bring May flowers, so be on the lookout for isolated thunderstorms throughout April. And speaking of that rain, this week, out west, they saw potentially historic rainfall, and they had significant flooding risk. You guys can see here, this was issued by the National Weather Service. This flooding was catastrophic flash flooding. You really need to take what the National Weather Service says seriously. Be careful. Stay attention to all the warnings that they put out, because not only can the flooding lead to river flooding, but you don't want to be driving because turn around, don't drown. Remember that. You want to stay off the roads when these intense downpours come because you never want to be stuck in a flooded roadway. And along with those historic rains came a massive tornado outbreak. Luckily, the Storm Prediction Center did give a good idea of where it was going to be impacted. They even had a high risk for tornadoes last week, so you know that last week was very, very intense weather-wise. A tornado outbreak happened, parts of the mid-Mississippi, lower Ohio valleys, basically in tornado alley, so you need to be very careful. You get a tornado warning on your phone, make sure you go to your safe spot, whether that be a basement, a place not connected to the outdoors, like without windows, anything like that. Please take these warnings seriously. On April 2nd, there were nearly 24 tornado warnings in effect from Arkansas to Indiana. As the National Weather Service describes, that was absolutely crazy. Storm after storm after storm, producing those lines of tornadoes, extreme winds, hail, heavy rain. You need to take these springtime storms seriously. As I mentioned in previous videos, springtime is usually the worst time for severe weather, so always be on the lookout. You may hear that some rain is coming away, thunderstorms. Just have the notifications on your weather app, your favorite weather app, just so you know, okay, maybe it's just going to be a light thunderstorm. You get that severe thunderstorm warning, okay, I need to pay really close attention. If you get, say, a flash flood warning, try and get off the road if possible. Tornado warning, get in your safe space. I cannot emphasize that enough. Check out this PDS tornado watch that was issued this week in mid-Mississippi Valley into southern Illinois and Indiana through midnight. Scary, right? Because it's during midnight. Some people are sleeping. That is another reason why I know I'm going through the safety reasons here, because I just want everyone to be safe. I don't know where you guys are watching from, whether it be in Tornado Alley, Long Island. Still, we always need to be prepared. Make sure you have a way to receive notifications at night to wake you up if you need to get to your safe place if a tornado is coming your way. Yesterday, the National Weather Service issued another message talking about the tornado outbreak that happens for parts of the Mid-South and lower Mississippi, Ohio valleys. Again, numerous severe thunderstorms spread eastward and intensified. You see in the purple, they know that these storms are coming. They track them way before we're able to look at the radar and analyze the way that the storm is developing. That's how we send out the warnings. And on a completely different note, the last thing I would like to mention is the snow and ice that Western New York saw to end off their March last weekend. Yeah, that's right. Believe it or not, it was still cold enough for that last weekend in Western New York. Although the ice accumulation was very, very minimal, even the slightest bit of accumulation on the power lines can be too heavy for them, causing power outages across that area, which is bad because they need the heat up there. And along with that, of course, the freezing rain, the wet snow, comes the terrible driving conditions. The roads were covered with ice, so Please, if that happens again, stay off the roads. Make sure you, again, stay updated with the National Weather Service. Ice up to 1/2 of an inch accumulated across portions of Jefferson and Lewis counties. It was absolutely crazy. Ice south of Lake Ontario remained less than 1/10 of an inch. But again, even the littlest amount of ice on the roads, on the power lines, is a really, really bad thing. That's why you guys got issued that winter weather advisory. Alright guys, that about does it for this week's edition of Weather News with 4A. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful weekend.